Drew McIntyre just drop a truth bomb on some of his fellow WWE superstars, gang. And yes, Drew McIntyre is known as being someone who likes to troll on the internet, and perhaps it was said in character, but you know what they say, in jest there's a lot of truth. And Drew McIntyre's statement, in my opinion, holds a lot of truth. Drew McIntyre said 85% of the people currently in the WWE working as wrestlers do not look like they belong in a wrestling ring. Now, I'm not going to go and say 85%. I think that's a little high, and I think he's being a little bit facetious when he said it. But I'll tell you this, it's probably 50%. I really think so. And I don't think he's talking about people like Otis, because there's always been people like Dusty Rhodes or Harley Race or people who are well respected in the world of professional wrestling who didn't have the greatest physiques, who didn't look like they hit the gym on a regular basis, or weren't steroid monsters or using performance-enhancing drugs. So I don't think that that's what he meant. I think what he meant is there are people here who just don't have the size in general. People who are just way, way, way too small to have it look realistic that they can hang with some of the people who they get into the ring with. And I got to tell you, I've been saying this for a long, long time. And I know fans get upset sometimes when I say that. And they say, well, but these guys are much more athletic and they have much better cardio. And all of that is true. But at the end of the day, professional wrestling really isn't a sport. Professional wrestling is an entertainment venue. And professional wrestling is much more like a movie than it is UFC. And in a movie, when you cast someone to play a character, they have to look like the character they're playing. You don't put Gilbert Gottfried in the role of a Jean-Claude Van Damme role. Why don't you do that? Perhaps Gilbert Gottfried's a better actor than Jean-Claude Van Damme, because no one would believe it. And that's where I think Drew McIntyre's hit the nail on the head with this one. Now, there are exceptions. Shawn Michaels wasn't a huge guy. Rey Mysterio's not a huge guy. There are smaller guys who were able to adapt their style in such a way that it was realistic that they could hang with the bigger guys. But that's a thing of the past. We now see guys that are 175 pounds going toe-to-toe with 260-pound men. And it's just unrealistic. And I think Drew McIntyre, even though I think he was kidding and I think he was in character, I think he let a little bit of that truth slip. I think Drew McIntyre takes a look at some of the people he has to sell to and says, what the hell? What the hell is going on? So I'd love to know what you guys think about this. Should there be a prerequisite for how large an individual has to be a professional wrestler, or should they just go by the skill level completely? Should they have weight divisions? Maybe they should take it on a case-by-case basis and say this person looks as though maybe they could hang with the bigger guys even though they're smaller, or this person doesn't. It's a really interesting question. Has professional wrestling become too inclusive to the point where there are people right now that's in the business who really don't look like they belong in the business? Let's see what you got to say. Like and subscribe and let us know what you think down below, and we'll be back soon with more Wrestle Chat Radio.